our friend Robert M. in Denver. Robert, how are you feeling today?
Norm, I'm feeling pretty good today, and I think I need to get me an air horn, even though I don't get any telemarketers.
I'm glad you don't get any telemarketers. Robert, I'm glad you're feeling well today. You know, you sent me an email to norm@normangoldman.com that put me onto this topic about the court in New Mexico ruling under the New Mexico state constitution that dying, the right to die is a fundamental constitutional right.
Absolutely. Now, here's my question.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I have a state directly below me, bordering my state of Colorado, which is New Mexico. I have the state up north of me, bordering Colorado, Montana. Both have those rights. And then just off to the west of me, I have Oregon and Washington. Why don't I have the right to die with dignity? And this is just a little bit more upsetting, as well as it's just great news to read. I'm going to be trying to get in contact with the American Civil Liberties Union here in Colorado tomorrow about this, and I've been in contact with Compassionate Choices. But something has to be done. This is just not right. Everybody should have these rights, and it shouldn't be determined by the states. It should be federal, I do believe, because we're all citizens. It affects us all.
Well, it's a matter of freedom and liberty. Robert, for those who are unaware of what we're talking about, let me catch everybody up. Robert M. is a gentleman in Denver who listens to us on AM 760. He called us in mid-December. He's got a heart that's failing. The surgery that would fix it is brutal and gruesome, and he won't go through it again. He's in his 50s, and he knows he's going to die soon. And we had a very compelling telephone call. And Robert and I have since become kind of friends, and he has done some apps for us. You can see Robert M.'s apps, including if you want to help Robert, not get evicted and die on the street homeless. You can go to our Facebook page, The Norman Goldman Show. Robert does apps for Facebook. He's a computer designer. He used to be in construction, but he has designed the apps that are now on our Facebook page. And I started this. Robert called me in response to me being on this show in December saying, look, you can't just chant freedom and liberty as a slogan. A bumper sticker is nice as far as bumper stickers go, but let's put a little flesh on the bones of freedom and liberty. Women have a right to control their own body. People have a right to marry who they love. It is none of these things are the government's business. People have a right to smoke marijuana in the privacy of their own home, and it's not the government's big government, liberal, nanny state government choice. And people have a right to die when they are in that terrible situation where they have a little bit of time left and they're in agony and they don't want to be in agony anymore. It's freedom and liberty. When you start applying real life actual facts to this bumper sticker nonsense that the Sarah Palins and Ted Cruzes and other ignoramuses are spewing, all of a sudden, no freedom for women, no liberty for gay people, no freedom and liberty for anyone who wants to smoke marijuana in their living room, no freedom and liberty for people who are near death. I mean, freedom and liberty, it's a nice chant of a slogan, but when you apply real concrete facts to it, all of a sudden, all those who chant freedom and liberty, it just melts away. And Robert M. is a perfect example of freedom and liberty when it comes to the right to die. And Robert is right, because in Montana and Oregon and Washington State, and now according to a state court judge in New Mexico, under the New Mexico state constitution, people have a fundamental right to end their lives. Robert, does this mean that you can go to New Mexico and end your life?
No, I don't think so. And right now, this is not like law. I guess it has to be, go to the next step, right? Is it actually law just because the judge said it's law, or is it going to get challenged or whatever? I haven't read it yet, so I don't know what the doctor requirement is. But in Montana and the other states where it's illegal, I cannot, even with my paperwork and everything, say that I am going to die within about 6 months. I can't go to a legal state and see doctors and get the legal prescriptions. I still have to, find the method illegally, and I thought that I was going to have to go through the hassles of driving all the way down to New Mexico to get a drug that is usually available at pet shops and veterinarian shops, but the Mexican government has kind of shut that down now, where it's so much easier for anybody to just get cocaine or heroin rather than something that's legally prescribed. It's just crazy. But yet people in Oregon get these pills prescribed to them, and then they just get to go and sit in an easy chair and just
And just end it.
Go not calmly.
And go to sleep. It's called Death with Dignity. The judge, her name is Nan Nash. She is a state court judge in New Mexico, and this is what she wrote. This court, this is the judge now, this court cannot envision a right more fundamental, more private, or more integral to the liberty, safety, and happiness of a New Mexican than the right of a competent, terminally ill patient to choose aid in dying. If decisions made in the shadow of one's imminent death regarding how they and their loved ones will face that death are not fundamental and at the core of these constitutional guarantees, then what decisions are? Now, that's really well written. Robert, I've got to leave it there, but I'm really glad you're part of the team, and thank you for flagging this decision for me so that I could go out and find it and share it with everybody. I appreciate it.
And thank you very much for your help, Norman.
Robert, I'm on your team now. That's Robert M. And you can check, if you want to hear the conversation that got Robert and I started on this, you can go to our Facebook page, The Norman Goldman Show on Facebook. You'll see the app. It's right next to the Listen Live button. You'll see the Listen Live button. It's right near the top. It's under the picture of my two dogs. I got a picture of my two pooches, two rescued dogs, up on our Facebook page, The Norman Goldman Show. You'll see the Listen Live button, and then you'll see the apps. They're little squares right next to the Listen Live button, and you can see the Robert M. fundraiser. You go there, and the phone call is right there.